Welcome, friends and enemies, to episode 89 of the Adventures of the Bane Growers. We've got everybody here. We've got Jess.
Hello.
We've got Kathryn.
Hello.
We've got Adam.
Hello.
Why was there a delay there, Adam?
Because my internet is so bad.
Oh.
So it was more the fact that it was like literally it went, and we've got Jess. Hello. We've got Kathryn. Hello.
That's just my voice, Adam.
Awkward.
We've got Ed.
Hello.
And we've got Simon.
Hello.
We're just
Sorry,
catching
when
everybody off guard.
When I'm caught off guard, I go a bit cockney.
Oh, hello. When last we left our heroes, you had scoped out the Archividum after a discussion with Vigo about doing so. You had sent Elsie in on her own with the gauntlet that has Flint's scrying stone in it, and had sent Vigo in with Truffle, who has the other half of the scrying stone within him. You waited in an alley for some time whilst Elsie encountered various strange, magically endowed rooms that led her through trauma and puzzles and achingly brain-hurting times, and then came to have some people who noticed that you were in this alley, who were some half-elven siblings, possibly twins, who were also looking to scope out the Archividum before the meeting. Their difference was that they had sort of been invited, as they were representatives of a member of the Unseelie Court in the Feywild. The male of the two, Lucan, drew the short straw between him and his sister Enna and entered the Archividum through a different one of the many, many doors on the outside of the building, and eventually encountered Elsie inside a room that turned out she had to think of a happy thought that would then lift her out of the room. Lucan was sadly unable to think of a happy thought that would do the same for him, and Elsie was left at the end of the episode in a tunnel illuminated by strange glowing rock and hearing odd choral chanting as she began to move. That is where we left it. Elsie, I believe you said that you were starting to go down the tunnel.
I go towards the light.
The light is in the walls. That would be a bad idea.
Yeah, it was more like a death reference. Yeah, I go towards.
I got the reference. Thank you.
It's this thing you might not have heard of, death. It's very obscure.
Not many people experience it.
So, as you continue down this tunnel, you start to hear the chanting growing a little bit louder. It continues in those three similar notes that you heard before. The tunnel is dirt on the floor, stone in something of an arch, but there are occasional supports that make it look like it was mined at some point. If you had to say, you'd probably say that you were fairly deep down in the rock that supports Eilinar in the sky. But given that the parameters of this place have so far utterly displaced your sense of proportion, space, time, you're not 100% certain where this might be. What are you doing?
First, I don't know if I asked this last time. Do I recognize the chanting or the music?
You didn't ask that last time. Could you roll a history check for me, please?
16.
No, you don't recognize the chanting at all. It is only three notes.
Okay. So I've walked towards the music. I may have missed it, but did the corridor change in any way the more that I walked?
No, just seemed to go in a fairly straight line. There's a ever so gentle slope downward.
Okay, well, I'm gonna, Vigo, can you hear me?
The same fuzz comes through.
Worth a try, I'm in a different room now, I say to myself, as I carry on walking towards the music.
Okay. After 20 minutes or so, it feels like to you, you finally get to a point where the music is starting to feel like it might be closer, as in you start to feel a little bit of vibration in the rock. And there's that. And you do actually start to see a flickering light at the end of the tunnel, like candlelight.
I carry on going, but cautiously.
Okay, are you trying to be quiet?
Yes.
Okay, I will say roll a stealth check then and roll a perception check.
33 for stealth.
You're pretty confident that you are stealthy.
And perception, natural 1. So that then becomes an 11.
Okay. You continue on through the various shadowy crags of this roughly hewn tunnel, and eventually you come to the end of the passage and find a large vaulted room beyond. There are various candelabra standing across the floor at various increments, wax dripping openly onto the ground. You notice that the flooring changes from the packed earth to large flagstones, but a lot of them are cracked, and it doesn't look like it was by impact. It looks like it's just age. And you can see that there are some roots that have grown out underneath, but not shattered them themselves. As you go just to the threshold, you see that there are some rather thick pillars supporting the majority of the roof of this room, and also see that there are some strange plinths and platforms dotted about as well, but there don't seem to be any people.
Okay, so strange plinths, platforms, no one here. Can I discern where the music is coming from?
I'll say make another perception check.
Natural 1, so 11.
That's 2 in a row for anybody keeping score. No, it just seems to be emanating from all around you.
Are there anything on any of the plinths or platforms?
You would have to go and investigate them, were you, to try and see that.
Okay.
They're all set back from the door.
Okay. I look down at the ground. Is there any stones or anything
There's
that
a
I
few
can maybe
bits.
pick up and throw?
There's a few bits of broken flagstone that you could, yeah.
Cool. So I pick up something and throw it into the room.
Okay, you throw it. Ting, 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 ting. Nothing happens.
This might seem... Oh, okay. Sod it. I'm just going to walk into the room.
Okay, you walk into the room. You see that lining the walls, there are archways. They're not doorways out, but they're almost built into the walls. And there are more plinths built within these archways. As you get further in, you discern that on these plinths, there appear to be long boxes that look not unlike sarcophagi. Is Adam broken?
Seems that way.
Oh no.
Because you just told him to suck off a guy.
I wouldn't break Adam.
I just thought he was thinking for a really, really long time.
And keeping his face perfectly still.
I mean, if so, it's very impressive long game.
Really?
Hello.
Hello, you're back.
I'm back.
Right, sorry, Adam. Where did we lose you?
I think I got that there were boxes on the plinths.
Yes.
That's kind of about it.
They look not unlike sarcophagi.
If you said something, I didn't get it.
Oh, I'm typing it. How do you
There's
spell?
a lot. Oh, I had to Google that just now. Let me tell you. It is SARCO
Yeah.
PHAG, and then I wrote sarcophaguses, so it's GUSES for sarcophaguses.
I
don't
think-
know
I
about
think
the
I-
singular.
Well, no, sarcophagi is the
Oh, yeah.
plural.
Well,
And I think I
sarcophaguses
spelt
is...
it right. So I'm proud of myself.
Okay.
So on the plinth, there looks like there's sarcophagi.
Yes.
Like our word of the day.
I think it's just Adam's internet is so bad that he's not getting anything.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, cool. Okay. How many are there?
Ooh, countless. The room is very large.
This really isn't going very well. It's weird because I can hear the typing, but nothing else. I'm going to go out and go away. Goodbye.
I'm wondering if it's a headphone thing because his headphones are so crackly.
I think he's got a microphone on his
Right.
lapel.
It's just that we're getting him okay.
Yeah.
Normally, when it's bad connection, it would be, you know, the receiving would be bad as well.
Mhm.
True.
I think because Adam tends to move around a lot.
Mm.
There might be a way. I don't know if you can do this when he's got headphones plugged in, but he might be able to select the speaker so the sound comes through the computer instead.
Yeah. But also, if it is a connection issue, just turn off video. Although we'd love to see your face, Adam. It might help your internet if it continues to be bad. I know that's what professionals do.
Yeah. So Adam,
I don't know if you can hear me, but as soon as I turned my video off, you all froze and I lost audio.
That's not the way around it's supposed to be.
Yeah, basically, I just keep it's quite clearly my internet because I keep on getting the pop-up going. Your internet is unstable. I know my mind's unstable, but I don't need my internet to be unstable too. But
Why is this funnier when we can't see him?
Because we imagine what he's doing.
Yeah.
So Adam, can you not hear us at all now?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Let's try for a bit without video and see if that improves any.
Your voice quality is better than it was earlier as well. It's less crackly.
Okay.
Where's your microphone? Is it on your headphones?
It's not. I think it is technically through the Mac.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because it is a bit crackly as if it's hitting when you're moving, but that's weird. Never mind. We shall try.
So I'm in a room, a very large room.
Yes.
With lots of sarcophaguses.
Yes. That sounded like the start of a song. I'm in a room, a very large room.
Full of sarcophaguses.
You're all clearly saying witty things and I can't. I'm gonna restart. I'm also gonna restart the Wi-Fi, see if because that seemed to help last time. So do you want to do some outsidey things and I'll be back? Goodbye.
Bye.
Right, so let's go to the rest of you whilst we're waiting for Adam to come back. You were still waiting in the alley, I believe, on a fairly plucked out of the air time frame by Erallur. So
It's highly calculated.
it has been another 10 minutes or so, starting to climb closer to that marker, and there's still not a reappearance by any of the people who have gone into the Archividum.
So just to clarify, because sorry, it's been a while. So they all entered from different.
Not everyone went in.
Yeah.
Elsie went in the opposite. Sorry, and this is your job, Michael.
It's okay. I don't mind you discussing.
I was just going to say, I think, as far as I remember, Elsie and Vigo went in opposite doors.
Yeah.
And then Lucan went in and left Enna outside.
And did Lucan go through either one of the entrances that Vigo or
No.
Elsie did? Right. Okay.
Went through one of the side doors.
Okay.
I don't think we should all split up and go into different doors. I think if we go in, we should all go in one door together.
Right. Well, considering that we know her slightly more, I would suggest that if we are going in, we go in the same door as Elsie, see if we can catch up with her, because frankly, while Vigo appears to be on our side, there's also the Manchun connection, which I think, it's no, I don't wish to speak ill of him, but it's not a huge loss if we...
But also we're not meant to be working together.
No, exactly. Whereas Elsie, we're tied to Elsie in more ways than one.
Flint, I don't usually agree with you, but I do this time. And Vigo is very suspicious. I should know, being very suspicious myself.
I mean, I won't lie for a moment. I genuinely thought you were about to argue us out of going after your sister. But
Now, I feel bad. So Luke shamed me for not going into the weird dark place. And she did come back to Neverwinter for me. So I feel like I should probably return the favor,
Luke is good at shaming people.
Yeah, he's good at being shamed as well.
So Luke's just smiling as much as he can with his beak and just doesn't seem to be really twigging.
An
Not laughing
incremental.
at my Russian pigeon.
Isn't that a sex position?
I mean, let's Google that.
You actually are.
As an incremental move of the beak.
oh, I thought we were still talking about. Sorry.
Are you?
No.
So we're going to go through the same door.
So Luke nods.
If we think that we should go in, then yes, I tend to agree with Erallur.
Well, Maud seems to have volunteered to go first.
You see Maud's mouth open and close a couple of times as if she is cycling through a number of counter arguments and insults, but can't settle on any of them, and then just starts to stalk off towards the door.
So what I think we should do is have this door open and watch the person in front go in. So I'll hold the door open for Maud.
Roll a persuasion check.
22.
Okay, I'll do it, but you better come in straight after me.
Yes.
We will be right behind you.
I don't
When
like,
you walk in.
I don't like this, but okay. And she starts to go through the door. Have you opened it for her?
Yes, and I want to... Does it look dark inside?
Roll a perception check.
20?
No, it looks like it is a well-lit, entirely white room.
Oh, okay. And there's no one else in there?
No, apparently not.
All right, I'll let Maud go in.
Okay, she walks in. There is a door facing across the other way of the room. Nothing else seems to catch your eye or attention.
So Maud goes in, and I can see that, like, she's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no weird magic at the door or anything.
Doesn't seem to be. And she turns around and looks at you and looks around the room and goes, seems fairly normal to me.
Okay, I will step over the threshold.
Okay, does anybody else get the door, or do you...
Don't let it close.
Yeah, I think I'll follow fairly quickly behind and probably hold out a hand for Juniper.
I tenderly take Clint's hand.
Okay, and Saluk, do you go into?
I do.
Okay, so we've got Saluk taking up the rear, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you hold the door open, Saluk, or do you allow it to shut? Because as soon as
I was assuming we were close enough to sort of just all go through while holding it.
Yes, but I mean, once you're through, do you hold it open or do you allow it to shut? Because it does look like it wants to shut.
There's nobody else with us, was there? The
No.
Elfie sister was separate.
Yeah, she's elsewhere.
Yes. So Luke wouldn't be intelligent enough to think otherwise.
Okay, so the door silently shuts behind you and you'll find yourselves in this alabaster 20 foot by 20 foot by 20 foot room.
With just a door.
Yep. Door facing you. You look behind you. Door's gone.
So Luke has a timely thought and leans over to Flint. Would it not have been easier if we had kept one half of the seeing stone?
In retrospect, yes.
But we didn't know that we would all be coming in here.
We didn't know that, no.
The idea was to help the two people who were going in keep in contact with each other.
Okay. Well, the door is right over there, but if we have learned anything from strange runes, it is not always so easy to walk right over there.
We probably should have left a message for Elsie in case she came out and saw that we weren't there anymore.
Aye. I feel we could have probably planned this whole thing. I mean, I was about to say better, but we could probably have just planned it.
Is the room quite sizable?
It's 20 feet square.
Okay.
So not the biggest, but not the smallest.
Not what one would necessarily describe as claustrophobic.
No.
Can I see with my eyes whether there would be any traps or magical barriers of any kind?
You can make a perception check or an investigation check to do that. See what your human eyes see.
Let's go with perception. 21.
There are no discernible features on the walls, just the door. No tiles that might be tripped, no tripwires that you can see.
Okay. Right, Maud, off you go.
Oh, right. So I'm going first in every room.
Yes.
This seems basically like you're treating my sister and I like guinea pigs.
Oh, right. I suppose it is only fair that we all try and make sure it is safe before anybody goes further in. And Saluk, in an effort to try and make himself useful in a new way, strains himself to see if he can sense any magic.
Okay. I'll say roll a perception check for that then, please.
10.
You don't have a magic detecting ability of which I am unaware, do you?
Whatsoever.
I didn't think so, but you're a monk, you might do. I just wanted to make sure. It's definitely a magical place, but you don't sense any magical auras.
Okay. Oh, I can sense lots of magic in this room. Over there. And then he points.
At the door?
No, he points.
He is
Can I look?
Yeah, sure. He is a. I'll say with your passive perception, Juniper, he is apparently looking at nothing.
Okay. I nod sagely.
I like to think Juniper has gone full on sniffer dog and it's just like in a straight line. Just
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk over to the door
Mhm.
and then I'm going to listen.
Right.
As Erallur walks over, Saluk tries to subtly adjust where he's pointing to where the wizard went.
Where the wizard went.
Saluk sees her as a wizard.
Okay, I will say, Kathryn, roll a perception check.
Okay. 9.
No,
No.
nothing.
Just no.
Just no.
I'd like to listen. No.
Can I sense if there's any kind of, I mean, I suspect there is, but any kind of magic-y goings-ons or anything?
Again, you don't have a magic sensing ability that I don't know about, do you?
I can detect magic, so I can do that.
Okay, you can do that. Okay, because we've sometimes before you guys have tried to go, do I sense any magic? And I'm like,
I've definitely done
no,
that.
because none of you have that as an ability. You have
At least
to cast,
I'm magical.
Yeah, but you have to cast the spell or have an innate part of you that is able to do that, which I don't think any of you have.
I'm a talking fucking bird.
I'm going to say that's probably a carryover from Thelios, because I could sense magic.
And just
Or I could sense good and evil.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Again, it's a spell, though, isn't it? Rather than just like an innate ability
Well, no,
that we all think
I
we
had
have.
an innate ability.
It was divine sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
but
is
so what I
slightly
mean is
different.
like a thing that you can do as an action, rather than what we're trying to do, which is just roll a check.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if something's floating, you can be like, that's probably magic.
There might be hidden strings.
Yeah, mirrors.
I mean, everything is
That'd
made
be a
of
great
hidden
dungeon.
strings, so
That would be an amazing magical, but like trying to be like stage
Yeah.
magic, that kind of stuff.
So, Flint, do you cast detect magic then?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
with his gun.
Usually, when you cast detect magic, you get a few blips, or it feels like there's a little bit of light just on your vision, almost like a dust mote that's just flicked over your eyeball. The amount of magic that is present here overwhelms your sight to the point that you briefly think that you've gone blind.
Jesus. Can I tell what kind of magics? Or just all the magics?
Everything.
Everyone! Okay.
Abjuration, divination, conjuration, everything.
Let's
Little-
See if there's
little-
any on the door.
Little bit of necromancy.
Okay. What about specifically this area? Is there anything that's lighting up at all?
The door.
Okay.
What kind of magic is
Yeah, what kind of magic is it?
There's an element of conjuration to it and an element of transmutation to it.
Okay. Well, there is a door. The door is our only option, but I would suggest we tread lightly.
That's a good idea. Am I going first again?
No, it's fine. To prove to you that you are not a guinea pig, I will open the door and I'll put my hand on the hand. I'm assuming there's a handle. Maybe there's not.
There is.
And I'll open the door.
Okay. You open the door and there is a chamber beyond, which is quite a lot larger than the one that you were just in. This one, again, is a cube, but is 60 feet square this time. The floor and walls appear to be made of fairly thick greenish glass. And you can see that there is a font in the middle of the chamber. The walls seem to ripple and dazzle with watery light. And you can see that there is another door on the opposite side, but this one is just a doorway. There's no physical door that you can open and close. And there are numerous symbols etched into the middle of each wall around the entirety of the chamber.
Has everyone else come in as well?
Well, you just opened the door.
Oh, okay. Yes, we haven't gone in.
Yeah.
I will step through.
Okay. To the rest of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone
Yeah,
thinks
go
it's all
for
right.
it.
Okay. As you go in, nothing seems to happen. The door lightly closes behind you. Doesn't disappear, this door.
So what do the symbols look like?
They look like a mixture of arcane and runic symbols, some of which look not unfamiliar to proto-languages. So there's parts of them that you recognize, Saluk, as maybe a bit of Auran or a bit of Primordial, but they're not quite right.
Now, question about ruling here. Now, as a monk, I have the tongue of the sun and moon, which means I can, and now it strictly says, I read it word for word, you understand all spoken languages, and any creature that can understand a language can understand what you say. Now, by spoken languages specifically, does that mean I can't read Elvish, but if somebody spoke it to me?
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Yes, it is a very annoying specific condition of that particular trait.
I don't suppose they're making any noise.
No, they are not.
Okay.
What does the font look like?
It is carved from the same thick green glass as the rest of the room, and it actually seems to be not only flush with the floor, but rise out of it. The stand on which it sits is carved to look like waves, almost as if a fountain is actually coming up and flowing out of the floor, but frozen in time. And the bowl is very, very smooth, again fused to this support. And you can see that there is a little bit of water just slowly wafting from side to side, and more symbols running around the inside of the bowl.
Can I look at the symbols, please?
You can, yes. Make an investigation check.
Do these symbols look at all like primordial?
Make what would that? What's a linguistics check? I suppose it'd probably be intelligence.
I mean, I only ask because I speak it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This again would remind you of primordial, but might actually be primordial in the sense that it's proto. It's
primordial.
Yeah, okay. It's before primordial was even a thing.
So might I be able to decipher roughly what it means?
Maybe. It would probably take you a while. Linguistic definitions and things obviously can take quite a long time.
Yeah, I'll bloody
we got time.
Take a look. Elsie's not going anywhere.
Okay, so I will say roll. Did you roll an intelligence check?
No, I haven't.
Okay, roll an intelligence check for that. Erallur, what did you get for your investigation?
I got a 2.
They just seem to you to be runes and symbols. You're not really sure what they might do.
Yeah. Okay.
Just straight...
None of it's infernal, presumably.
No, it's not infernal.
Just straight intelligence. It's a shame because without my proficiency. So that's 20 not natural.
Okay. A few of them miss. You're not quite sure what they might mean. There's bits and pieces of it that you think represent the 4 elements, as in the 4 alchemic elements: water, fire, earth, air. And then there's one symbol that just sticks in your mind for a little bit. Again, this is taking a while, folks, and the rest of you are a little bit frustrated as Flint is just jotting stuff down and checking the symbols. But one just sticks a little bit, and you think it either means blessing or curse. It's one of those words that has the same root meaning, but over time has meant that it's split somewhere, and you just can't quite discern which one it is.
Would Flint be able to, obviously deciphering it compared to the more modern languages, but are you able to read it as it is, as this proto-language? Can you accurately pronounce it even if you don't know what it means?
So that you can hear it and translate it?
Maybe.
I would say off that intelligence check, you would probably know that this is a runic language that cannot be spoken, similar to Druidic.
Okay. What about the water that's shuffling? What's
shuffling?
Yeah, what's that?
Just
thing?
ebbing to side to side. It seems not necessarily to be doing it in a tidal way. There's nothing moving the bowl or anything. It's just slowly ebbing to and fro, as if somebody has just shaken the bowl or just carried it and placed it down.
Have you told us any of these meanings of runes, Ed?
Oh, yes, I have. Yes.
Is it confusing you because I'm looking at the screen and not at your face?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I reckon I will have communicated all of this with the group as I'm poring over the various symbols.
The one that looks like a Proto-Auran language. Does Saluk have any idea what it might be?
I will say roll an intelligence check. And it's not specifically one line or part of it that is Proto-Auran. There's just specific symbols within the run around the wall.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was thinking of individual symbols placed.
No,
around
no.
this.
There is a run around the entirety in one line.
Got you. So it's a 1 minus 1.
Not a clue, sadly, Saluk.
So this element, you think it means elements or something? Sorry, are there other... So there's the symbols, there's the font with the water in with symbols around that. There's symbols around the room.
Yes, in a straight line around each wall.
Okay, and is there any other surfaces or is it just the walls?
Seems like there's just the walls.
Okay.
And the water's casting its light on...
Yes, the walls are apparently filled with water somewhere, and there seems to be light dappling through from a different source. Almost like you're in a tunnel in an aquarium.
Yeah. I'm concerned that if we get whatever this is wrong, then the room might start to fill with water. So we should be sure before we try anything.
Is there anything other than water in the font?
Roll an investigation check.
Harry Potter. Investigation, you say? 6, say I.
You look around the font. The water just seems to be over the top of the bottom. Not to your eye.
Is it clear water?
Yes.
Right.
Does it look as though the symbols trigger anything?
Roll an investigation check.
Can I do so magically?
What magical investigation would this be? I don't...
I guess looking for magical properties, potentially. Have I seen anything like this before that might have...
I'll say roll an investigation check and then roll an arcana check.
Okay. So that's 9 on investigation. And then arcana, it's a natural 1.
Oh.
Oh, again, you find nothing more to the font than has already been found. And you have been through strange chambers before where there's esoteric solutions to puzzles and things. The high ice rings a bell, but this one seems even stranger than the weird druidic symbol one that you found. That's probably the closest thing, but it doesn't offer you a quick solution.
I walk to the open doorway.
Okay.
Because
just leave.
There's an open doorway.
Yeah.
And I don't want to walk through it. I just want to look through it.
Okay. You walk to the open doorway. Make a perception check.
Another puzzles by
9.
You see a fairly shadowed chamber beyond. It's quite difficult to see in this one. There seem to be fairly large looming shapes, but you're not really sure what they are. They could be furniture. They don't seem to be moving, but could be literally any piece of furniture just because of how dark the room is.
Do we all just want to leave into the next room, or are we staying here?
I mean, is there any sign of Elsie?
No.
Okay. I mean, there's no harm, potentially, just exploring. We can come back here if absolutely necessary.
As long as walking through this. I don't know if I know you did detect magic, but...
I did detect magic, by the way.
That's very impressive of you.
How long does that last, by the way?
That's what I was going to ask.
Sorry, Kathryn, I jumped on your point.
No, it's fine.
That lasts...
I was curious about if it was still going. Could you tell if the doorway was magical? That was
I think it's only for like a minute or 10 minutes. It's not very long. Up to 10 minutes.
I don't think it's been 10 minutes though.
Okay. Well, it has been...
you did all your...
It has been because of his linguistics investigation. But when you came into the room, you would have got a blip of magic from the font, from the doorway that you're standing at, Erallur, and from the runes around the room.
Okay. What kinds of magic?
They would be abjuration on the runes around the room and the doorway.
Okay.
And they would be conjuration on the runes in the font.
And abjuration is the...
defensive and...
blocking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe we shouldn't...
So I'd be careful about the door.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. It wouldn't be conjuration. It would be invocation. Sorry. on
The
the font.
invocation is like the more sort of damagey one, right? With fire and stuff.
I think, Flint, your background is like a wanderer as well, aren't you? Would our ability to find food and water and like fresh water, would we be able to tell from that if the font is
Ooh,
actual fresh water, but more importantly, is it water at all?
that's a good shout. Yeah.
I really like that use of that trait. That is a really intelligent use of that. You would be able to tell that it is fresh water,
He has to lick it first.
but no,
Yeah.
but there is obviously something about it that is different because it is moving on its own.
Like a bird and the water thing.
Hopping at the that's like some really, imagine that but with the Dumbledore thing. It's like, stop me, Harry.
Just Harry just pushing this bird down into the water.
You must.
So dark. I would like to reach into my bag and take out the longest bone I have.
Okay,
I'm going to poke the bone through the doorway,
through the doorway. Okay,
or try to at least.
you slowly put the bone through the doorway. Seems to go through.
Mm.
Oh,
I do
dear.
it again just to be sure.
Yeah, no problems.
I like the idea that there's a magic which is like you can do it once, but not twice.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like a one-way system, you know,
Yeah.
if we don't take our chance. So, well, the doorway isn't protected against bones. And then I walk over to the bowl and then I motion, like, should I put the bone in the bowl?
Do the rest of you do anything?
I didn't stop her from putting the bone through the doorway. So.
So Luke, yeah, folds his arms and nods.
Flint trusts Juniper's logic, so I'm going to.
It's fresh water. He stopped investigating.
Okay, so do you put the bone?
I put the bone in the bowl.
Okay.
Wet that bone.
You place the bone into the water and you see briefly that there is a flash. The runes on the edge of the font flare up and the bone seems to thicken slightly and crack before it turns into a packed earthen club at the end that you're not holding, as in it extends and then becomes this hard chiseled earthen club.
Is it like animated or anything? Or?
No, it doesn't move, it just lengthens and seems to strengthen.
So
I
Luke's
lift-
very, very thirsty all of a sudden.
When I remove the bone from the bowl, does it remain in its club shape?
It does,
It does.
and the
Is
roots
it-
go dim.
So maybe it was a one-use thing.
Kind of tempted to drop one of my magic beans in and see what happens.
This is how we TPK.
I would like to take my new club around the room and just wave it in front of the room.
Okay, you do so. Nothing seems to happen.
Yeah.
The rest of you notice as Juniper is doing this that there are pieces of semi-precious stone within the club that seem to catch the light as she swings it.
Interesting.
Upon seeing this, Saluk takes out his water skin and empties the last dregs that are in it onto the floor.
Mhm.
And then, very, very carefully, not to touch the water himself, tries to lower it to fill up the water skin with this magic gem water.
Okay, roll a perception check quickly.
I don't want to.
Just please.
Oh, it's not going well today. That's a 6.
Okay, that's fine. So you put the water skin to try and dredge up the water.
Yes.
We're gonna
Okay.
fight a giant water skin now.
Okay, so as you put the water skin in, the water from the font doesn't slide into the water skin, but instead a plume of water shoots out of the empty water skin across the floor and shoots at the wall to the point that it is just almost pushing you backward. It is such a strong torrent.
Oh, guys, Saluk flaps out his wings for air resistance and tries to stay in one place.
Okay, I would
Like
say
a firefighter.
essentially yes.
Firefighter's wings, yeah.
Make a dexterity saving throw, Saluk.
We're in business. Fuck, no, it's fine. 17.
Okay, so you do actually manage to stop yourself from aiming the water at any of your friends, but the torrent is not stopping. It just keeps
I didn't
going.
agree not to aim it at anybody.
Well, that's up to you. But it was
I know,
that
was
you.
what was,
It's that you didn't lose control, so it's just shooting against the wall.
Oh, is the door in the right direction? Or the doorway?
You can turn it towards the door. Erallur is still standing in the doorway.
For now, can I lift the water skin back out of the water?
You can.
I
The torrent
do-
is still going.
Oh,
At this point, Juniper, you would notice that the water isn't filling the room. It seems to actually be going through the floor, as if there's a degree of porousness to the stone beneath your feet.
so just Juniper's noticed that.
Yes, because of her passive.
Okay.
I have a ridiculously high passive. I think I will tell the group. I'll go, I think the floor has lots of very tiny holes in it.
Right. So, are we? So, can you stop the water at all?
Oh, jumping up off the floor and hovering because he doesn't like the thought of holes in the floor. He tries to stop at the end of the water skin.
Okay, make a strength check for me, please.
If it works, this is actually really useful because
If this works, I now have a jetpack.
If only you didn't already fly.
Goodbye. No, but I can fly faster. Strength check would be an 11.
Okay, you do manage to just get the stopper in. Your talon gets very, very wet and your feathers on your arm get waterlogged, but you do just manage to get it in. You do notice that when the stopper is in, it does shake slightly from side to side. This is not the most stable way of keeping this closed,
Okay.
but it is closed for now.
Wrap it with rope.
I think it's a bit small for that, isn't it?
Does anyone have any string? Some packs come with string.
I reach into my jeweler's pack and can I get out some spare wire and quickly try and fashion, like how champagne corks are wired on.
Mm-hmm.
I try and do that.
Okay, yeah, I will say make a dexterity check with your proficiency bonus.
Yes, I've lost where that is on page. What's our proficiency now? Is it like +5?
+5, yeah.
+5,
wow.
yeah.
20, not natural.
You do manage to fashion a rudimentary wire cage around the stopper.
Okay.
So we just all putting our stuff into this weird font to see what it does? Or
I was going to suggest maybe we move on.
oh, spoil sport.
You can after we've all left the room.
I do not like the holes in the floor. I would like to go somewhere else now.
But we can't see the holes in the floor. Can you see holes in the floor?
No, I cannot see holes in the floor, but now you have mentioned them, I can feel them, and I do not like it.
You're trypophobic.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the word there. I was like, yeah.
I'm trypophobic.
Can I can't believe I didn't do this initially. Can I put on my helm of comprehending languages?
No, I was going to say, don't you have a language?
Yeah, I thought that, and then I thought he didn't actually have one.
I thought, what, I'm not going to say that because it's a stupid question, because Ed would have put it on straight away.
It's just buried amongst all of my other things. Yeah, I'll put on my helm.
All of it. Oh, sorry, it was buried under all my
again.
other plot-solving items.
Still think of it as a little cap, little round cap with one of those spinny things on the top.
No,
Yeah.
see,
I picture like a yellow builder's hat.
yes, I see it as an old miner's hat
Yeah.
with a light at the front.
Yeah,
But it's
like
wax candle.
Yeah, oh yeah, like
Oh.
really rusty, but really
Yeah.
well worn, and like you always wear it a little bit lopsided.
I like that.
Okay, when you put on the helm, the words do start to make a degree of sense. On the font, you discern that the word that was tripping you up does in fact say blessing, and it is written around the bowl, blessing of the four elements, earth, air, water, fire. And as you look around the symbols on the rest of the room, you discern that they say basically, do not press the button. You will be sealed inside and drown.
Do not
Immediately look for where Juniper is.
Is there a button? Have we seen a button?
You haven't seen a button.
And we
Okay.
don't know to look for one yet.
So if you see a button, don't touch it. That would be a
Instant death.
bad idea.
Where there's a button?
Don't look for one, but there's a button.
Salute looks for one for situational awareness so he doesn't accidentally touch it.
Roll an investigation check.
Unnatural one.
Doesn't
He'd
find
already
one.
stood on it.
He treads on the button.
He doesn't. He does not find one.
Okay.
I'm standing by the door and I'm basically just gonna start like, okay, let's all move on.
What does the font say though, Flint?
Something about blessings of the 4 elements, so earth, fire, wind, water, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so Juniper's thing would be earth. Saluk's thing would be water. So there's still fire and air.
Oh, I want the air one.
Oh, are we going to try it?
It's all the loot we didn't get from the princes.
I mean, Erallur, I don't mind trying it if you do want to go out of the room. But actually, if you go out of the room, there's no door this time, so you guys might just disappear.
What do the other symbols say, Flint?
Don't touch the button. That's
Let's
much it.
find where the button is. I'd like to look for the button.
well.
What
Do
if
you,
it is a test and we have to push the button?
I don't think it is. Can I look for the button near the font first?
and I will put on my eyes of minute seeing and look for it as well.
Perhaps
Okay.
for
Like
every
you've suddenly
occasion.
remembered what class you're playing.
I've also
I will
got
say
my
roll fresh investigation checks then, please.
advantage because of my eyes.
19.
Natural 20.
Okay, you immediately see that at the bottom of the bowl
I thought
in the
so.
font, there is an ever so tiny circle just etched.
That's fine. The members of the party I'd be most worried about can't reach it, so that's fine.
Do we, although we can't see the button, have we been able to passively see exactly where he's looking?
Roll an insight check.
I mean, I was looking at the font.
16.
Probably, yeah.
Saluk looks to Flint, looks to the bowl, looks to
Right.
Flint.
I look at Juniper, I look at Saluk,
Yeah.
and I shake my head very slowly.
Saluk looks at Juniper.
Maud, would you like me to put something in the bowl for you?
Well, yeah, could you try putting my sling in the bowl,
Yes.
please?
I'd like to very carefully do that
Okay,
and not press the button.
okay.
Juniper, can you count the holes in the floor? It's important.
So, you...
Um,
Sorry.
Juniper gets like really close on the floor and as I'm putting her like little dog eye against the wall, trying to see the hole.
Roll a perception check.
I will.
Oh my God,
I
she
want to
did it.
see atoms.
Okay. Erallur, when you place the sling in, the runes flare again, and the string of the sling glows a bright red, and then bursts into flames.
Well, I'm fire resistant.
It doesn't do you any damage. The handle doesn't, but the sling string does, and then you bring it out, and the flames remain.
Mhm.
And Maud just looks up and you goes, "Oh my gods, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen."
Can I take off my gloves
Mm-hmm.
and dip them in the water?
She's going to have windy gloves.
Oh, it's all windy gloves.
Every time you cast a spell, it's like,
Like in the Dragon Ball Z film, where it's just
Oh.
like his key is just farts.
I don't understand that reference.
You dip the gloves into the water. You can't quite get them all the way underneath. The water isn't enough. But as you do, the bowl starts to shake a little bit, and then it starts to shake a lot. And just as you think, oh, maybe it's another earth thing, the bowl actually starts to twist, and the water in it goes into a water spout between the gloves before smashing back down, and the bowl of the font actually breaks into 4 pieces. The gloves flop down onto the now broken pillar. Seems like the last blessing went into them. You're not sure what it might do.
Okay, I'm just going to pick them up and just sort of walk towards the door.
As you pick them up and walk towards the door, you remember the button was at the bottom of that bowl.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say anything.
The bowl's broken. Did that trigger it? You
Let's all
walk
go a bit quicker this time.
You walk towards the door. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay, I'm still going to go quickly.
Okay, do you walk through?
I'm going to wait right next to it until everyone's there and then walk through.
Okay, you walk through the door. Do the rest of you go at the same time, follow? There's enough space for you to go 2 by 2.
Yeah, I'll go with Juniper.
Okay, so
Get
you-
dragged away from the holes.
Yeah, what did you find?
What did you roll on your perception
I
check?
rolled a 21
Okay,
Yeah.
because I can see the universe.
through one of the holes, you see quite far down beneath the floor a very large, dark shape just drifting through the water. And then Flint yanks you away.
Ah, my holes!
Oh no. No.
So you walk through and you find yourselves in this room with the looming shadows of something. Elsie,
Yay. Hello.
back with you. So you seem to be in a rather large mausoleum.
Okay. From probably what little history I know, could I tell what type of culture or people may be in this mausoleum?
Roll a history check.
No. That is a 6.
Old.
Old. Old people.
Old history.
Old history people. Okay. But there's lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
More than 10.
Yes.
That's lots.
It's more than all your fingers and toes.
I think curiosity is probably going to get the better of me. So I'm going to start wandering around the room, trying to look and see if any of them are open or any of them are broken or...
None of them are, no.
So they're all sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that just piques my interest even more. Kind of forgetting what's going on and that I'm in a weird magical place. Are they all on the ground floor or...
No, there's various levels of this, and you can see that the large pillars, there seem to be some smaller sarcophagi actually perched on various plinths that go up the pillars.
Do they all look the same, or is there one or more that look nicer than the others?
There's not necessarily ones that look nicer. They are all similar, but there are little idiosyncrasies here and there that show, one, the passage of time in terms of stylistically, and two, that given the similarities, it's likely that this is either one family or an extended family that have placed their dead here.
So then noticing that, I probably then remember where I am and what I'm in, I think. Yeah, so are there any other doorways in or out of this room?
You look around and eventually, once you've come to the other side, because this chamber is massive, there is a dark archway that is supported by huge hunks of stone. And then the keystone, there is a lengthened and sharp-featured skull.
Oh, okay, but that's the only other way out of this room.
Seems to be.
Okay, but is there still the strange singing, weird music?
There is, yes. It's not grown more intense, but it's still there.
And there's been no other movement other than me?
No.
The light's not changed?
Nope. Still that slightly fiery.
The ones that are on pillars, they're not in any sort of pattern?
No,
or like
just
height order or...
No, just seemingly in columns.
Thinking to leave the sarcophagi nurses as they are, I go and have a look at the skull on the door.
Well, it's above you, so you would not be able to look at it terribly closely.
So is it like an archway with a skull in the middle?
Yes, the skull is part of the keystone of the arch.
I heard keystone and thought that it was like a handle.
No.
That's fine. I peer through the doorway without going through it, if that makes sense.
Okay, make a perception check.
28.
It is very dark beyond, but you just see a glint taller than your head height. And as your eyes start to focus in the dark, you discern that there are boxes and shelves.
Oh.
Lots of boxes and shelves in the room beyond.
But it's pitch black.
Pretty much pitch black, yeah.
Okay.
But you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Yes, so you can see a little bit.
I get out my fire starter and click it on.
Okay.
And take a step through the doorway.
Okay, you take a step through. The flame is guttural in this room. It is gigantic. And there are shelves and boxes, and they seem to lead in fairly straight lines, but then split off down more passageways to more boxes and just as you hold the light higher, more glints catch on the flames. The rest of you, to your right, as you come into this room, see a sudden flare, but it's quite a long way away.
Where is it in relation to anything else that's in this room?
It seems to be maybe 30 feet from where you are, but because it's so dark and the flame is fairly bright, the sudden flare of that means that it's a bit difficult to discern distance and a bit difficult to see who might be beyond the light.
Okay. Can we make out anything else about the room?
Make a perception check.
Probably not, but let's try anyway. That will be 11.
Not really. You can see that there seem to be shelves in the direction of the flame. They seem to be catching the light.
Anything on the shelves?
Not that you can see from here.
Okay. I guess I'll start inching towards it.
Okay. Are you doing so quietly or quickly?
I mean, how loud is the flame?
The flame's not terribly loud. It's not terribly big.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go stealthily then.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Why not? 14.
Elsie, what's your passive?
11.
Okay. So, Flint, you think you're probably going to be okay. You just stick to the wall. The rest of you see the shadow of Flint just flit to the right and then start to slide along the wall, but you lose him fairly quickly in the glare of the light. What are the rest of you doing?
Has anyone tried just seeing if they can see what's in the room?
I
Flint-
would like to smell what's in the room.
Okay, Flint did try and see, but didn't really see beyond shelving with stuff maybe on it.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
also do a perceive without
Okay.
dark vision.
Okay, so Saluk, well, you wouldn't be able to see at all, Saluk, because with no dark vision, there's basically nothing. And with a bright light,
Then
that
I
would
will
then
look.
obscure your vision. So I'll say Juniper and Erallur make perception checks. And Juniper, if yours is a sniff, roll at advantage.
Man, I've rolled the same thing for every perception
Oh
check
my
in this
gosh.
whole game, so it's another 9.
24.
So Erallur, again, this light is messing with your vision. It's really difficult, particularly given how dark the rest of the room is. A bright light being that distance away just makes it a bit tricky. Juniper, this room smells of musk and must and dust. It smells of old paper and cloth. There's also the slight tang of metal. And just as you're sniffing and straining your perceptions, you just hear a strange skittering noise. Quite a distance away, but it echoes down to you.
I don't think we're alone in here. I heard something skittering.
Well, we're obviously not alone. There's a flame down that way that came on when we came in the room.
And I
Could
think
be a
it
magic flame.
it might be beneficial for us to be able to see, even if that means other things can see us. And then I will cast light on.
Okay.
I think. Do I have to cast it on something, or can I just
Yes.
cast it as a
No,
thing?
it has to
in
be
the
cast
air?
on an object.
Well, what's Salute got that I could cast it on? Because he's the one who can't see.
Eyes.
Are you holding anything?
Just like headlights.
Cast it on his beak.
I mean, I haven't put the water skin away, not for any reason, but
Yeah.
I'm not holding anything else at the moment.
Okay. If he lets me, I'll cast it on the water skin.
Okay, so the water skin illuminates, and you see at last that there are indeed long shelves and boxes and shields and swords and armor just strewn about this room in fairly orderly lines, but they arc away from you for quite a long time to the point where the light doesn't quite carry far enough. Elsie, you see a light flare to your left, and suddenly, Flint, you realize that the shadows that you were in are now gone. And Elsie, you see Flint was trying to sneak up towards you. Flint, you see Elsie was holding the flame and has now clocked that you are there.
What are you doing over there?
Oh,
Why are you there?
well, you were taking a while, so we thought we'd come in and find you, and we've been having a grand old time. We found a nice, calming white room. We found a font that transformed our items into magical items. It's been lovely. How have you been getting on?
Side note, has it felt like it's been a long time for me?
Maybe an hour for you.
Okay, but It's
But-
not been longer for them as it has for me.
It's hard to tell in here. You lose sense of time.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I found a room where it was happy and sad. I then found a person that I then presumably then lost again. Then I walked down a corridor with strange music, found lots of dead people in coffins, and now I'm here.
Can we hear this, or is this happening too far away?
I would say you could probably hear it, yeah.
I guess we make our way over.
Yes. So Luke ascends a little bit with the light. How high is the room, if I may?
The ceiling is not discernible from the radius that the light casts out.
Well, okay then. I go about 20 feet off the ground and just stay above the group as we presumably approach Elsie.
Okay, I'll say make a perception check.
18.
The shelves arc quite high into the room, and they are covered in stuff. There are sealed boxes, there are chests, there seem to be strange, humongous gemstones. You spot that there is a weird runed anvil on one of the shelves not too far away. There is piles of gold, and you also notice as well that there are a couple of boxes that are lined with skulls, and there is a metallic, fairly small looking dragon carved around a softly glowing red egg.
Feels like Aladdin's cave, and I feel like we shouldn't touch anything.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
One that likes shiny things has seen something shiny.
So Luke spots the red gem in the dragon.
It's an egg. It's
egg.
not a gem necessarily, but it's an egg.
How far away is it?
From you at this point, it would be 20 feet.
Okay. So with a cursory glance down towards the group below, drift over hesitantly towards this little figurine. And taking a moment to pause, I don't touch it, I just look at it closely from a gem cutter's standpoint.
Okay, I will say roll an investigation check with your proficiency bonus.
How big is it?
You haven't spotted it yet.
Oh, I'm asking from the listener's
okay.
perspective.
Well, as Saluk gets closer, you realize that it's not actually that small. The metallic dragon is maybe 3 feet long. The egg is probably about 1.5 feet tall.
Wow. That's
The little gem, he says.
Yeah, you had a bit of a
Oh,
Dougal
wait.
moment there.
that gemstone is far away. Yeah, I got a 16.
Okay. As you look at it, it doesn't appear to your eye to be a jewel. There's not the consistency or makeup that seems to suggest a gemstone. And as you're looking at it and your beak just gets closer and closer, you just discern that there's a shadow inside the egg.
Does this egg, although not necessarily a colour that I would be familiar with, does it remind me of any other eggs?
Roll a nature check. Well, no, this would be Arcana.
I mean, both is bad. 7.
No,
I was thinking more from my past.
I'm aware, but you
Not that.
have fought green dragons and know about them. You've not necessarily encountered their eggs.
Fair cop.
Juniper, you have noticed that Saluk has drifted closer to a particular shelf and a particular item upon that shelf.
I've seen that it's a
Yes.
sparkly gem. I go up to Saluk. and I
He's
go,
above you by quite a distance.
Yeah.
Somehow she comes up to Slug.
She can
My
fly.
amazing levitating dog power. Yeah.
They can fly now.
I shout up, Saluk,
Yes, little one.
I have this big bone club, but I don't tend to use club because you can't play music well.
A
And I
true
think-
musician would be able to.
Love music.
Yeah.
You're really enjoying that new microphone, aren't you?
It's great for the comical Lena.
Um,
You're only really working in one ear, so that was just really like.
Need to get another one there.
You're insufferable.
But I think it's got some gems in it, so I didn't know if you wanted it instead of me.
Oh, that is very kind, Juniper. Perhaps I can have a look at it later.
Flint!
Hello.
Stage whisper. Like, Flint, there's a very shiny dragon egg thing up there, and Luke wants it very badly. And I'm being good because there were some skull boxes, and I haven't touched them at all.
So Luke has made no move to take this object.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've
You
got
don't need a high
pretty
insight.
close.
Me and Flint went to get yogurt or whatever, but we knew the whole story. We were told.
Right, okay. Do you think perhaps you might want me to have a look at it?
Is that to
Yeah, I
me?
think.
To the world, generally.
Well, it's far above your head, Flint.
I look up. Salute. How about I have a look at that for you?
Mm. Oh, well, that is very, very kind of you. This thing is almost as big as me. I just want to make that very clear.
It's not quite as big as you. You're what, 5 feet?
4 something.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's
Well,
like 3 foot long.
the metallic dragon around it is then yes, but the egg is 1.5 feet.
Does it look like I could easily lift it out?
Well, the dragon is wrapped around it, so you struggle.
Okay.
Almost in a sinuous curl. So you could maybe pull the egg out. It's not a situation where the limbs are wrapped around the top of it, so you can't pull it out.
Mm.
But you would obviously have to lift it out of the dragon's grip in order to get hold of it.
Transfixed by it. He's like, well, the craftsmanship on this metallic dragon is incredible. It is a shame to leave it behind, but if I can only take the egg, then I suppose. And then he starts to twist it and push it up and try and prise it free.
Okay, make a strength check.
15.
It's heavy. It's very heavy, but you slowly start to lift it out. And as the base of it reaches the same point as the foreclaws of the dragon, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
I can. I like those. 28.
Okay, you just spot before it moves that the metallic dragon's tail twitches and then shrieks towards you, extending about another foot. And the metal shards between it disconnect from each other, except that they're attached by small metal strings. And it strikes just where your head was a split second before.
Oh dear.
And the grip around the egg tightens.
Oh, so it's not quite free yet. Okay.
And you also notice that the eyes of the metallic dragon glow fiery red.
Mm-hmm. So Luke flutters back a little bit.
Are you still holding on to the egg?
Oh, no. Sorry, I thought I kind of backed away and it was still in there. No.
The egg slowly drops back down to the level it was at before.
So Luke bashfully flies down to the rest of the group. So Luke will remember the lessons he learned earlier on.
You've literally just found me after I've gone missing, and you decide to steal something again.
There is no one here to own it. It is not stealing.
You want to steal the dead people behind me?
But we have been through this learning. I am sorry. I am sorry. Are you okay, Elsie?
Yes. Nothing's really hurt me. Just my brain from trying to figure out things in this really weird place.
Oh, so it is only a minor injury. I was worried for a moment there. Why are you laughing at her misfortune? I do not understand.
It's fine, Saluk.
The sister thing, Saluki would.
Oh, okay.
So I don't see Vigo with you. I've not been able to communicate with him or Truffle, which has been very annoying because I thought that was very clever of me to think of that. But so you encountered what? What rooms have you encountered?
I mean, quite a few. They've all been quite pleasant. But
yeah, Elsie, look, I got this really cool fire sling. And she holds it up and then puts a rock in it, which immediately bursts into flames, but doesn't seem to hurt her. And then she just fires it into the room. And you see the fiery rock just swirl almost like a Kathryn wheel through the air and then land and sputter and spin before it slowly ekes out again.
Oh, that's fine. I was waiting for it to engulf into flames, and we have something else going on here.
But we have 2 ways to put out fire now. We have this strange fire hose.
Don't talk to Sir Luke like that.
Wait, so Luke's a fire hose now?
I waggled.
He's a
the
strange
glowing-
fire hose.
And I got these gloves, but I don't know what they do, and I put them on.
Okay. You feel a strange tingle when you put them on. The hairs on the back of your arms stand up, as if caressed by a wind.
Three arms.
Feeling windy.
Shouldn't have had that
Episode
yogurt.
title.
Can I wiggle my fingers and see if anything happens?
You can, yes. I will say, which direction are you facing?
Oh, good God.
I guess I'm facing
Yeah,
Elsie
face the
because
egg.
I was showing
Okay.
Elsie.
Elsie, can you
I
roll
got
the
these
dex?
gloves.
Can you roll the dex? Oh, you wiggle the fingers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Can you roll the dexterity
I
saving
had
throw,
the worst.
please?
I'm sorry, what am I
A
rolling?
dexterity saving throw, please.
You got another character ready?
27.
Okay, so as Erallur lifts her hands and starts to waggle the finger, you just feel this ever so slight wind start to rise around your hair. And given that Maud just showed you what seems to be a very dangerous upgrade to one of her favored weapons, you just go, no, and take a leap to the side as this column of air whoops forwards.
Yes.
And you notice that the rock that Maud fired gets catapulted another 30 feet down the chamber. That would have been so cool if you'd hit her.
Why do people get magical things that they're not know how to use?
Can I, now that I've done that, can I continue to wear them all the time and not do that accidentally?
Yes.
Okay.
They
because
have.
that's also my fire resistance.
Yes. Now that you know what they do, you can work out that there is a particular wiggle of the fingers that will activate it.
This one.
Also, it only does it once a day.
Okay, so that's done now.
Yes, for the day.
Okay. What can I? Is there like a? Is it casting a spell? Just so I can write it down properly.
No, it is a particular ability of the gloves that means that it basically sends a rush of air forwards. The DC for it is 15.
Okay.
And if you fail the saving throw, then you get catapulted 30 feet and take 2d10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So we've had wind, we've had fire, we've had water. Why am I now wondering where the earth is?
I wave my club.
Yes.
It's a big club.
Have you tried hitting anything with it yet, Juniper?
Hit Erallur.
No. No. Although I don't know if anything here will be safe to break,
That's a good point.
but maybe the next room will have something we can break.
What, you mean the one with all the dead people in it?
Why do you want us to go to this room? You seem to want us to go backwards instead of forwards. I'm not going into the room full of dead people.
Well, they're in sarcophagi.
That's even
sarcophagi,
creepier.
Sarcophagu.
Because there's the bandagey mummy folks in things like that, aren't there?
True. Yeah, but
You didn't touch any of them, did you?
no, I resisted.
Good girl. Also, I'm slightly disappointed.
That was very, very tempting. Is there another way out of this room other than the way that you came in and I came in?
Maybe. We haven't gone that far into it, and it seems a pretty big room.
Well, now that we are all together, should we not go back to our mission and try and find where this meeting will be?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was doing.
We do seem to be just arsing about from room to room, don't we?
Did you see anywhere that might look like a meeting would be held there, Elsie?
I saw no tables or chairs or boards that could be written on. Any flip chart? What is a flip chart?
Their proper title is Fantasy Flip Chart.
Fantasy flip chart.
dear.
Yes, Simon, I've stolen your joke.
I'm so glad it's caught on. It's brilliant.
No, I can't say I've seen anywhere where a meeting that I would expect could be held, but this is a weird place, so a weird place may take place where a meeting could take place.
You said place a lot.
Yeah, I think I've been on my own a bit too long.
An hour?
You were always weird, but you know.
Yes, an hour is a long time to be on your own, Erallur.
Maybe you were the wrong person to send to this building on your own then.
Yes, I think it was. Also, where did my friend go?
Which friend?
I met a friend.
Were they
briefly.
real?
Oh, now I'm wondering if they weren't real.
You did poke him and he seemed real.
Yes, that's true. I poked him and he felt real. I think he was an elf?
Half elf.
Half elf.
What did he look like?
I describe what he looked like.
The description is very similar to Lucan.
That sounds like that person that we met outside.
Oh, wait, I'm not going crazy. He was actually real.
When did you see him and where did he go?
Where did he come from?
Was his name Cotton Eye Joe?
It is now. Rewrite.
I probably saw him about half an hour ago in a room that away.
And he didn't follow you through here?
No, we got separated.
Well, he's looking for the meeting room.
Oh,
Maybe we should follow his footsteps.
we can retrace my steps if you wish.
But if
Yes.
he's trapped in the same rooms that you were trapped in, perhaps he does not have a secret to get there faster than we could.
Also, gonna say it again. Not going in the room full of dead people. No, not happening.
But Juniper could make them friendly.
No,
No.
we're
Not
definitely
happening.
not going in the room.
Oh, okay.
But they're all already dead.
You see, the narrative possibilities now my character likes dead people.
Role play.
Oh, we're growing.
Do you want to see if there's another way out of this very, very dark room?
Yes, are there any doors?
So Luke flies up higher than before.
Okay.
Higher
So-
and higher.
You fly up, and the light cast by your water skin casts long shadows across the shelves. You see many more glittering fancies. You see strange statues and shadows that loom out of the darkness at you. Juniper, again, you hear that skittering noise. A little bit closer this time. Saluk, from what you can see, there do appear to be some more doors. And you arc so high that you actually get above the shelves finally and can see the ceiling is another 30 feet above the top of the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And you are already probably at 100 feet by this point. There appear to be 6 more doors, spaced similarly to the ones that you came through. 2 on the walls to the left and right, 2 on the wall ahead. And you also see, just glinting between those 2 doors ahead, there appears to be some glassware catching the light from your water skin on a table far, far below.
Okay. If I were to fly back down to the group, is it feasible that I would remember where this was?
I would say because of your survival skills, you likely would.
Oh, yes, because it's like once I've seen an environment, I can kind of
Yeah.
navigate. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
You're a very good tracker, so I would say yes.
I make a mental note of the glassware. I don't suppose I can see any detail of what it is from this distance.
Oh, it's too far away.
Fair enough. Cool. Yeah, fly back down and describe the 6 different doors in all different directions. Did I get an idea of the layout of the pathways between the shelves?
Yes, you would do.
What was it?
Very higgledy-piggledy,
Okay.
but for you, discernible.
I fly down and kind of relay it. This would all be a lot easier if you could all fly as well. But we have 6 choices. And also there was something shiny in the distance. And I know what you're thinking, but I am not saying it for my usual reasons. I am saying it because in these rooms, anything in a prominent location seems to be of importance. Perhaps it is worth checking out.
There's 6 of us, if I can count correctly.
You have managed to count. I'm so proud.
As there's 6 doors.
No.
Do we think it's tempting to fate that we go through them individually?
Me, the player, thinks that would be really
just-
fun.
Oh
we
my
just
god.
got back together, and now you want to split up again.
Oh.
Yeah, you're annoying.
Although actually, Erallur, your idea of like opening a door and peering in first and then going in kind of worked and kept us safe.
Should we do that then? And then all go in the same door with the door open?
What are we looking for? Are we looking for the meeting room?
Yes.
Okay. So each one of us goes to a different door. If we find a meeting room like one, we holler.
Or anyone in there.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So Luke, can you guide each of us to a door and we'll leave a person behind at each one and then you take the last one?
We don't want to just open a door, see Vigo there and just shut it and be like, nothing there.
Or do we want to go around all together and just open a door together each at a time?
I think it is probably better not to leave people behind as we go. I can see my way around this place from above, but for all of you, you cannot travel nearly as quickly or find your way nearly as well.
That's true. And why would we want to all individually open a door anyway? That seems very risky, even for you, sis.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know.
It's literally because I'm annoying you, isn't it? That's the sole reason.
Yeah, and my brain hurts from all of this thinking.
So what do we want to do then?
Let's all be guided by Saluk and all go at the same time to each door. Open the door, look in.
Okay.
There we go.
So, like the Star of Jerusalem, Salute opened up in the air and guided them to their door.
Okay, which door are you going to first?
Let's go the near left one.
The near left one.
Do
Okay.
a nice little clockwise thing.
Okay. So you go towards the near left one. Is anybody volunteering to open it?
I'll do the door opening. I don't mind.
Okay.
What do you mean the door won't open? Ba-bam!
What's your armor class, Erallur?
Oh no. Oh no. 13.
Okay.
Squishy.
So as you reach out to the door, you notice that the knob quivers ever so slightly, and then a large purple tongue extends out and smacks you in the face. You take...
I should have known when he said who's opening the door.
7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are adhered to this tongue and grappled by it. As you all notice that the tongue sticks to Erallur's face, and there are purplish and yellow taste buds that seem to be just adhering to her skin.
Ew.
I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Oh,
Including me, even though I'm
Yes.
adhered.
Yes.
Is it a mimic?
It is a mimic.
Ah. Do you know, for a moment then I was really excited and I thought we had a special guest, but it's just your
but Simon, I'm already here.
We've finally achieved that bad dragon sponsorship we've been wanting.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
would
the
love it if it
knobbly
was-
purple tongue? That...
If it was just a guy in costume with massive.
This map is not entirely accurate just because of the higgledy-pigglediness of the shelves, but you are all fairly close to this door. Erallur is being licked by it.
Once you've got it set up, would you mind just giving us a bit of a pointing tour? Because it's a
Oh,
bit
yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, sure. I know it's a bit busy and it's a bit difficult to zoom in.
Well, what
But-
you can do on Zoom, what I tend to do is you can pin. It means everyone else's faces are small, but if you,
Oh,
in
yeah.
it makes the map big.
big.
I
Yeah.
just did it.
What, do we have to do that individually ourselves?
Yeah,
Yes,
So
yeah.
the little dots in the
Oh,
corner.
I did it.
Okay,
Ah,
so
lucky.
initiative 25 to 20. So Luke,
Me. Sorry, I forgot it's an audio medium. Me. 24.
24. Very
Oh,
nice. And 20 to 15.
oh, hello.
Me too.
Juniper, what did you get?
21.
21. Excellent. I just need to check Maud's. Bear with me a second. Okay, she's +0. That's fine. Elsie, what did you get?
I got 18.
18. Wow, okay. And what's your dexterity?
Oh, my dexterity is +4.
And Flint?
I got 17.
17.
Oh, and Truffle. No, Truffle's
not
here.
with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, Erallur.
I got a 7.
Oh, did I match with Maud? Is that why you asked my dexterity?
Yes, you
Ah.
matched with Maud, and Juniper matched with the Mimic
Ah.
because it rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
Erallur, as this thing is attached to your face and you just feel the roughness, it's worse than when a cat licks you. It is like not sandpaper, but as if a sander was going across your skin. But something seems to trigger in your head, and you get the feeling that you could maybe make this thing act slower or yourself act faster. You unlock the initiative switching ability of your chronomage.
Nice. When can I do that? Can I do
You
that
can
now?
do it now, yes, if you
Oh,
want to.
nice. Okay. You might have to. I haven't opened that document.
Okay, let me find it.
I can also find it.
Whose will open first? The trepidation.
Mine is.
Oh,
What is this
Right.
interesting new thing that I have no idea what's happening?
we shall get to that because
Oh,
it's an ability that I designed for Kathryn. So
oh.
So you may move one creature up the initiative order by +5 or down the order by -5. You can do this to 2 creatures when you reach up with. Okay, so it's just one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will give you the
Yes, can you
initiative
tell me
order.
order?
Yeah. So it's Saluk first, then it's Juniper, then it's the Mimic, then it's Elsie, then it's Maud, then Flint, and finally yourself.
So when it says move up or down by 5, it means by the roll rather than 5 positions.
Yes.
presumably.
Yes.
I'm going to move the mimic down,
Okay.
please.
So that will move the Mimic down to 16, which will put it between Maud and Flint.
Okay.
Okay. So, Saluk, you are up.
Okay, reacting quick as a quick bird to the tongue flying out, I turn and slash at it with my talons.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
I shall.
Can everybody see where they are? All right.
No.
Did you point us out?
So this is the Mimic just here.
Yeah.
Bottom
I
left
know
corner.
where I am.
Yeah. Saluk, you are just here. The white wings. And then Elsie and Juniper are on the right-hand side of Erallur. Flint and Maud are a little bit behind Saluk.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the dragon on there?
No, the dragon is way back here. The dragon is here.
Okay.
We're not thinking about the dragon anymore.
Okay, so roll to attack, Saluk.
27.
That will hit, absolutely.
That would hit for, what kind of damage was it? Let me just remind
Slashing,
myself.
I think you said?
It is, yes. It is 8 slashing damage.
8 slashes.
And I would also, from that, could the Mimic please roll a strength saving throw?
It can. What is the DC, please?
16.
Oh, just rolled a 16. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the bastard.
It was
Okay,
13 plus 3.
never mind. I then slash again with my talons for my
Okay.
second final attack.
Roll to attack.
That is a 23.
That will hit, yeah.
Okay, and damages it for 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And again, can we do a strength saving throw, please?
Yes. Oh, worse this time. 13, so it fails.
Okay, it fails. It gets pushed up to 15 feet. So can I whack it open?
Weird thing about mimics, they aren't the actual object that they mimic. So are you knocking it backwards?
I guess it would be the tongue if that's the bit I'm hitting.
Yeah. If you were knocking it backwards, you would just knock it so that it does let go of Erallur, but it just goes back into its form. And you now see that the tongue just goes back into the door form. There's nowhere backwards for it to go. It's just seemingly a wall behind it.
But it's freed Erallur.
It seems to have done, yes.
Fantastic. Job well done.
Erallur, there is purple slobber down your face. Not unlike that horrific slime that they use in old horror movies.
Yeah.
And that's me done.
Okay. Juniper, it is your turn.
The Juniper was holding up the club. Oh, she's used the club before, and now she's like, oh, okay. Should I still hit the door? Oh. Juniper's just gonna hit the door. Why not?
Okay, roll an
Well,
attack roll.
Cool. So I'm proficient with simple weapons, apparently.
Yeah,
Does this count as a simple weapon?
it does indeed.
Lovely. So I could still add my proficiency bonus to
You
that.
can indeed, yes.
Beautiful. Let me roll. I never do attack rolls. This is a completely new experience for me. Wow, that was a 7.
This is
Okay.
why we don't do attack rolls.
So you swing the club, and unfortunately, as Saluk slashes at the tongue and it withdraws, you just smack the club down and miss and hit the stone beneath. Erallur, Saluk, and the Mimic need to make dexterity saving throws, please. Ooh, it's a DC 15.
Ooh,
15?
15.
Okay, you both succeed, so you manage to just dodge back as the floor below rumbles, and you see that the Mimic is seemingly shaken from within as this energy just vibrates up it, and it takes Oh gosh, 15 points of bludgeoning damage. So
Yay!
wow, okay, yeah, that
I
hurts.
did it.
So yeah, Juniper, it is DC 15 on an earth shake, and it takes 2d8 damage when the earth shake happens. So, that the end of your turn, Juniper?
Yeah, I think Juniper's quite happy with that.
Okay, so it is now Elsie's turn. Sorry, just lost internet for a second there. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
I
Adam's.
think it's
I
Adam.
think it's Adam. Oh, okay. Typical when it's his go.
Yeah. Should we see if he's in the chat?
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Adam, can you hear me?
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
was
exactly what I was going for.
thinking.
Yes,
He can't, evidently.
that's so sad.
Oh,
Oh, he's gone.
completely.
Oh no.
His internet didn't used to be this bad. It's only
No.
been the
Oh, he's-
last two.
He's in London, so it should be all right.
Yeah, everything's good in London, isn't
Except London.
it?
Yeah.
Except
I mean, do you
prices.
think it's just everyone's working from home and just buggering up the internet?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. Or gaming from
And-
home or whatever.
But you say that, but then we've only been doing this online since the pandemic, and everybody was doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we skip Adam's go as if he's holding an action and then...
Yeah.
Yeah?
You-
Okay, so...
I'll
that
message
would-
him on Facebook.
Yeah, that would make it Maud's turn. So she is going to just use her new sling against it, I think. So that will hit. But unfortunately, as with the other elements, the element on it doesn't activate because it is once a day. Juniper, you note as well that your earthen club has turned back into a bone, but there are still the shards of green gemstone within it. And so she just hits normally with the sling. So 1d4. Oh, okay. So 7 damage. Not bad. From a 1d4 weapon as she rolled a 4. So she brings the sling, arcs it around and hurls a rock at the door. And you notice that where it hits, a bright orange eye blinks open angrily, and she managed to actually hit it in the eye. That is the end of her turn. It would now be the Mimic's turn. On the Mimic's turn, you will hear a rather unpleasant noise elsewhere in the chamber. And you see that now that an eye has opened on the Mimic, many more eyes open, and the teeth and tongue reappear and make a noise as the other doors in the room seem to turn into mimics as well.
Oh dear.
There's no escape.
Oh no. There are more doors.
So there's 6 doors
One does
altogether.
simply, not simply walk
Well, this is what I was
into
hoping
more doors.
Maud would go first so that we could make that pun on another.
They sadly can only move 15 feet around because they are tricky.
They can move?
How do doors
Yes.
move like this?
Have you ever played Banjo-Kazooie?
No, you actually can't see most of them. You can see some, but the one that you can see seems to be moving on little cilia underneath it.
Like centipede.
Stop it.
Exactly. So 5, 10, 15. Oh no, that one's in striking distance. How terrible.
Do these all have the same initiative?
They do, yes.
Okay. I'll just add an S. Mimics.
But weirdly, obviously, because the tunnels are a little bit finicky and things, it's going to be a bit of a cramp point. They're going to struggle to attack you, it looks like. So,
I have a quick question.
of course,
Have they left a gap where there is a real door?
no.
Okay.
All of it
So
is
they-
blank wall.
Okay.
So the doors that you can see on the map, they're not there.
Yeah.
The only other door was the one that Elsie came through.
Okay.
We were tricked.
Adam's here.
Apologies.
Back.
Can you hear us? Are you back?
Yeah, it was just so strange. No issues at all. And then literally, you kind of like Kathryn or Jess finished, and then you just froze, kicked me out, and just wouldn't come back in. So I've just had to restart
Wow.
the Mac again.
Okay. So, Adam, there are now 5 other mimics.
Oh,
that have
On
appeared.
all
'cause-
of the other doors.
Yes, and blank wall behind those doors. We skipped your go because we said that you would hold your action.
Cool.
So now you can take a go if you would like. The mimic
Okay.
in front of you
Mhm.
is looking pretty
Oh.
rough.
Okay, but because obviously what I got was that the tongue went back into the door, and my question was then going to be, does it still look like a door or does it look like something else?
It briefly did, it now doesn't. Maud flung a stone from her sling at it and struck it in an eye. Once that happened, all of the other doors awakened and various other eyes and the mouth were opened.
Okay, so it's quite clearly a thing
Yes.
there. Okay, cool. I would say, yeah, I held my action until more interesting things appeared, which they have. So I'm just going to cast... Did the fire seem to be effective?
The fire on her sling didn't work. It's a once a day thing.
Oh.
It didn't work this time, sadly.
Oh, okay. Well, to follow on from that not working then, I'm just going to throw a firebolt at the closest door.
Okay, roll for an attack then.
22.
That will hit.
So 3d10. 18.
Okay, you aim with the usual unerring striking rate that you have with your firebolt. There's a as it zips into this thing's now suddenly open mouth, and you see the flame just catch some chemical or something that this thing has down its gullet and just burn it out from the inside. That one is dead.
Nice.
Gosh.
Okay, are you moving anywhere? Are you doing anything else?
Is there now a mimic behind me?
There is,
Right.
yes, just here.
And I'm next to Juniper?
You are?
Yeah. So I put myself between Juniper and the mimic.
Okay, that is fine. So
Hold
you
the
do
door.
that. It is back to the mimic's turn, which is where we were. They have all moved as far as they could. And that one is going to attack you, Elsie. So, yeah, it's going to hit you with its tongue. It's not going to hit you with its tongue with a natural one. So the tongue lashes out and you just bat it aside, contempt ringing from your mouth. So that's all that can do. It is now Flint's turn.
Okay, so do I have a clear line of sight on any of them?
You would have on the one behind you this way.
I'll shoot, hopefully.
Okay, roll for an attack then.
22.
22,
It's a good
thank you.
start.
That will hit.
So that's 8 points of piercing damage, followed by 25 points of thunder damage.
Nice.
Okay, so you aim your cannon, lock down the iron sight, and then woof, you hear the tinkle of coins as the shockwave plummets towards this creature and smashes it to the point that the tongue ripples and the rest of the pseudo wood just seems to shake with the force of this blow. That really hurt.
Nice. And I'll use my bonus action to reload.
Got it. Okay. Erallur, it is now your turn.
So what I'd like to do is cast a fireball at 4th level. Can I catch more than one in that? Let me just tell you the radius. 20-foot radius.
You definitely could if you placed it between these two here.
Lovely. And
But
I'm
it
not going to
wouldn't.
catch anyone else.
No.
Cool. So yes, that needs then a dexterity saving throw, please.
What's the DC?
Good question.
Remember, you don't have your wand.
Yeah, no, I took that off. 17.
Okay. 2 4s, so 2 5s. That will hit.
Okay, so that is normally it's 8d6, so it's 9d6. Sometimes I
Okay.
feel like it would be quicker to just do what Jess does and roll digitally when it's this many.
Yeah,
Right.
but you don't get the same sense of tactile satisfaction, I don't think.
Well, would you like us all to roll a d6 for you?
6. I've got 6. I need 3 more.
I'll roll one for you.
Oh, I've got. Okay, that's fine. So Adam, just roll one.
Just a d6.
Oh, I dropped one. Okay. Yeah, so just 1d6, please, Adam.
Cool, I have rolled.
27. And I don't think I add anything to that. No. So 27 plus
That's
Adam's.
5.
Nice, so 32.
Yeah.
Good hit. Okay, so on this one, you see the flames engulf it and it lets out a of pain. The other one opens its mouth and the fire goes in with no effect.
Do I know why?
Must be a fire door.
Roll.
Oh, Simon.
Joke
how-
of the campaign.
I hate how friggin' quick and witty you are sometimes, Simon.
So annoying.
Roll an Arcana check, Kathryn.
Okay.
God damn it, son.
Dirty 20.
You know of some creatures that are able to absorb spells sometimes. Seems like at least one of those mimics has that ability.
Absorb and then release, or just absorb?
Could release it.
Oh, no. Stay away from that one, everyone.
Keep clear of the fire door.
Make your way orderly to the closest exit.
Okay, so is that the end of your turn, Erallur?
Yes, I think so. Well,
Okay.
where am I? Am I still standing next to one? No, it
No,
died.
that one died.
Yes, I'll stay there.
Okay, so we're back to the top, so it is Saluk's turn.
Hello. I fly up in the air, let's say 20 feet up, to clear
Okay.
the heads of everybody.
I'm just going to put you on that shelf.
How far away is the one that just absorbed the fire?
That one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 feet from you.
That's okay. I get out my javelin of lightning and, speaking the magic word, I hurl it at the door.
Okay, roll an attack roll.
I've just got to remind myself how I... So, well, attack roll first of all.
Yeah,
27.
that will hit.
This time there's a magic weapon. So it transforms into a bolt of lightning, forming a line 5 feet wide that extends out to my target. Each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw of 13.
That's another 5, so no.
So it fails.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll do the physical damage first. So the javelin hits it for maximum damage, 13 piercing damage.
nice.
And also it takes 4d6 lightning boys, which would be...
You would think that.
Oh, I'll tell you how much I think that. I'll tell you
But
how...
the javelin sinks in, the lightning goes off, and the eyes pull the energy within and heal the hole that the javelin made
Oh no.
to the point where the javelin just clang clang on the floor.
Is
Like
the
a
javelin still in
trolley.
one piece?
It is, but it
Okay.
seemed like it absorbed the magical damage and it used it to heal itself.
Oh, balls.
From my check earlier, would I know if it's just magical damage or like elemental type damage?
From your check and from what just happened, that would be a very safe assumption that magical damage is something that it might be able to absorb. It may not be able to do that all the time.
As a magical person, that's not great for me.
In frustration, I chuck a dart at it.
Okay, roll an attack roll.
Oh, that's only a 12.
That will just hit.
Oh, interesting.
Not massively armored, these things.
That one would hit for 9 piercing damage.
Okay, so the thing lashes its tongue at you, and you just see the crackle of energy from the remainder of the lightning. And then you hurl a dart and just goes "Ah!" as you manage to lodge it in its eye. Juniper, your turn.
I feel like there's only one way to fight living doors, and that's by
Singing.
animating other objects.
I thought you were going to suggest singing Cliff Richard then.
Oh, no, not today. Maybe next time. Because I mean, if you use an animate object spell, it's bludgeoning damage rather than magical damage.
This is correct, yes.
This is correct. So, the dead mimic, is that a creature?
It would be an
Could I
object now.
It would be an object now.
Yeah.
Great. I would love to use animate object on the dead mimic.
Okay. So the dead mimic, in a horrible facsimile, rises upward under Juniper's command. The tongue lolling lazily. It's not really alive again, but there's something disturbing about how unalive yet active it is.
Only Juniper
Beautiful.
would choose to mimic a mimic.
There's a lot of layers. She's a complex dog. What size would the mimic be? In like
Large.
tiny, large.
Yeah.
Thunderbar. Okay, well, I would like my mimic to attack
Eminem.
the regular. Yeah, I would like my Eminem to attack the regular M who was absorbing all the magic, please.
Okay. It can't get to it because it's blocked by the one that was damaged by Elsie.
Ah, okay. Well, it'll attack that one first then.
Okay, I'll say it can do that because it can do so over the top of your head because you're both quite short. So
Yes.
in terms of the attack, you're going to roll for it?
Well, I have stats here. If it's a large animated object,
Great.
it has different stats. So I will just do a quick roll now. Well, it's a 14 without the addition, so I'm going to guess that's a good sign. Yeah, it's a +6, so that's a 20, not natural.
That will hit, yeah.
Lovely. And then that's 2d10 + 2. So I'll just roll that right now.
Okay.
Oh, not a d100. Get out of here. I do 99 points of damage.
Get out of here.
Nice, 16.
Okay.
Which will be bludgeoning.
So you see the discolored tongue lash forward and strike at this thing. And this mimic suddenly looks very confused and hurt. It's looking very ropey as it just goes, ah!
Oh no, they were best friends.
Is that all you're doing on your turn, Juniper?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Doris, not you, Doris.
Yeah,
Tis me, Dorian. Doris.
And we were roommates.
Just roommates.
Yeah.
We lived in the same dorm.
It's not really me attacking you. I've been framed.
Oh no. Elsie, it is now your turn.
Oh god, that door's found itself in a bit of a jam.
Okay, so I look to be surrounded by doors.
But one just attacked the door that you were attacking, so you think that one's safe.
Okay, and is that the one in front of me or behind me?
The safe one is behind you.
Okay, cool. So I've got the one in front of me that I'm in between Juniper and that door.
Yes.
Yes. Is there a way that I could have advantage when attacking this door, or not really?
Yes, you could, because Juniper is next to it, as is the other door, so it is technically flanked.
Okay, I would like to sneak attack it then, please, because I never do that, and I'd like to do it.
Go for it.
Why? Oh, 19.
That'll hit, yep.
Woohoo! Only friggin' 20.
Well, doesn't necessarily matter as you manage to slip around the tongue and jab your rapier underneath on the muscle that ties the tongue to the base of its mouth. And as you do so, the rapier actually slips and goes through to the roof of its mouth as well. And you just hear this as its eyes all cross and it slides backwards off the sword dead. Okay, that the end of your turn?
Well, the door that is now there.
That one?
That one, yeah. That's the fire-eating door, isn't it?
Mhm.
The fire door. Okay. I'm gonna stay where I am, but stay facing the fire door.
Got it. Okay. So that's that. It is now Maud's turn. She is going to turn around, seeing that Flint has attacked that door, is going to join in on the party, and...
Imagine if we had gone and opened all 6 of the doors individually.
Oh no!
I know, when you suggested that, I was like, oh no. So she nimbly steps around Flint and then ducks onto the floor so that he can still have a clear line. You then notice that she takes out her water skin and just drops a single drop of water into the palm of her hand, but it hovers above her hand. And then there is a brief rush of water as a 10-foot tall, 10-foot wide wave courses forwards and smashes towards the door. it needs to make a dex saving throw. These have gone well so far. Oh, does it succeed on that? What is her spell DC? Oh, it does succeed on that. That's such a shame. But it takes half as much damage and isn't knocked prone. So that is 4d8 bludgeoning. And it is not magical bludgeoning damage because the thing is a spell knocking her, not doing magical damage. So it can't absorb it. Ooh, not bad. You see this rush of salt water eke forwards, Flint, and the smell briefly reminds you of your time on the waves as the door is smacked and buffeted. That one's looking very ropey now too.
Okay.
And Maud turns around, winks at you and goes, "All yours, big guy."
I'll just nod and fire.
Well, it's the mimic's turn beforehand.
Oh yeah.
So-
Sorry, I didn't look at my initiative.
That one will move 5, 10, 15. Can it reach that far? Oh, it's reach. Oh, it can reach Maud. So that one's going to try and attack Maud. It's going to miss with a 2. So Maud, having already been crouched down, just leans to the side. And Flint, it doesn't quite get to you. You have this brief moment where the tongue is about 2 inches from your face before it recoils. This one is going to move 5, 10, 15 towards Elsie. This one's going to move 5, 10, 15 that way. 15 that way. So the one next to Elsie is going to attack her. That will hit. So that is a 22 to hit Elsie.
Oh, yes, that hits me.
Okay, so you take
No.
5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, no.
And
What will I do?
Tis
That-
but a scratch.
is all they can do on their turn. So Flint, it is now your turn.
Fire!
Okay, roll to attack.
Yeah. That'll be 17.
That will hit.
Okay. So that will be 2 6s. 16 points of piercing damage plus an additional 25 points of thunder damage.
You bring your cannon to bear and just perch it on Maud's head as she's a convenient tripod, and then think better of it briefly because of the amount of power that it cannons out. And there's a whoop again, but this time, because the mimic is closer, there is an almost perfect circle that just appears in the door, and purple ichor drips down through the gap as that one is just eviscerated. So that is a reload. Erallur, it is now your
Hello.
turn.
I'd like to cast Catapult at a higher level.
Okay.
What is it normally? It's normally 1. Let's do it at 2.
Okay.
Which means I can use an object that's 10 pounds, which means nothing to me.
There are some objects on the shelves that would certainly fit that description. There's a bag
Great.
that looks like it'd be about £10.
A bag. So anything more solid?
Well, the bag looks like it's got something fairly heavy in it.
Okay. Yes, let's do that then.
It's quite lumpy and quite full.
Great. Okay. I hope it's not valuable. Right. And I will target. Who's being attacked by them at the moment? Elsie is?
Elsie is, yes, by this one.
Just Elsie.
Yes.
And is that one looking damaged?
Yes. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
no. That one is the one that absorbed the spells. So it's a
Let's
tiny.
do that one.
It's a tiny bit damaged by the dart that Saluk threw.
I'll attack that one.
Okay.
And I
roll.
will, in fact, attack it at, because I'm feeling extravagant today, at 3rd level.
Oh, okay. So you're
Ooh.
changing the level. That's absolutely fine. So for catapult, do you roll the attack, or is
It's
it
a dex save.
dex save? Well, those have been going so well for me. What's the DC?
17.
Yeah, that's a failure with an 11.
So let me just mark that off. Oof. So normally it's 3d8, so it's 5d8, which I have. Oh, I rolled 3 1s.
Oh,
17.
not bad. So you hurl this bag, and as it slams into this thing, there's a "Roar!" as what looks like coal dust plumes out of the top of the bag, and you see the eyes blink and go a little bit red. That hurt. Okay, are you moving anywhere, or are you done?
No, I'm going to stay put.
Cool. Saluk, it is now your turn again.
Hey, I will swoop down to that very same door.
Okay, you'll have to go behind it this way if that's all right, just because there's not enough room where Elsie and Juniper are.
Oh, right. Okay.
Means you're attacking it from behind.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, with it being, it's a door.
Yeah.
Obviously, behind you get a bit of a benefit, but obviously all the facey, squishy bits on the front. Is it
Well,
still
now
work?
that it's moving, it still seems like the rest of it is fairly squishy.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It doesn't have
In which case,
extra armor on the back or anything.
Righto. So I'll swoop round behind it, and then I'm going to see what happens when I swipe at it with my talons.
Okay, because it's flanked, you will get advantage on the attack.
24.
That will hit.
And that one hits for 9 slashing damage.
Nice.
From that, if I can find where my little counter for it is, I'm going to spend a key point and follow it with a flurry of blows.
Go for it.
Which gives me 2 unarmed strikes. First one is 26.
Hits.
That hits for 10 bludgeoning damage. And from that one, could it please roll a dexterity saving throw of 16?
No, it can't. It got a 3.
It falls prone.
So you rake your claws along its back and then punch it where you think maybe a kidney might be if it were a humanoid. And there's a as it starts to fall forwards. Elsie, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
A dexterity saving throw. 18.
You just managed to skip back and feel the lukewarm feeling of the animated tongue just touch against your neck. And there's a brief feeling of you sticking to it, but then you just managed to pull yourself free as the door just whoomph down in front of you, missing you by inches. And you see Sir Luke's slightly smiling face as he managed to finally knock something onto the ground.
I look at him and do the point at eyes, point at him, like I'm watching you, in a jokey way.
But you dodged it. And then he lifts his foot to do another unarmed strike.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, 12? Oh, 12. Yeah, 12.
Well, do it at advantage again because it is flanked.
Oh, yeah.
And on the ground, so technically you would have advantage anyway.
15.
Yeah, it hits either way.
Cool. That one hits for 8 bludgeoning damage.
That one is looking extremely rough as you just bring your foot down and stab it with your claws.
Okie dokie. And now for my second attack.
Oh god, yeah, because you spent a key point. Yeah.
Is the javelin nearby?
It is. It's at your feet.
I'll pick up the javelin. That would take my other action though, wouldn't it?
I'll say bonus action to pick up the javelin.
Okay, I pick up my javelin and then try and skewer it.
Okay, roll.
Not a magical one, it's just a normal sticky attack. 13.
Yep.
11 piercing damage.
Okay, so you then bring the javelin down over your head and stick it in the exact same spot that you punched it and then just grind it deeper. And there's a as it too lies dead. Doing anything else?
How much movement had I used to get to it?
You had used 40 feet because you were up high.
Okie dokie. Now I think my flying is slightly less than my walking. Okay, I've got 10 left, so I will fly 10 feet in the air just for the vantage point for next time.
Okay, you've got it. Juniper, it is now your turn.
Okay, awesome. So as a bonus action, I'm going to ask Eminem to attack the mimic that's closest, which I think is the top one.
It is. How far can it move when it's animated?
30 feet.
That's further than it can move normally. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I imagine it moving like the carpet from Aladdin, just like.
It can move exactly the right distance.
Oh, beautiful.
This
I mean,
angers me.
My favorite thing about animate objects is if the object has no way of moving, it automatically floats.
Oh, come on!
It's a good spell.
That
It's
spell is
very good.
broken. Nobody's allowed to use it next campaign.
No.
We live in a world with no animate spells.
We live in a world of no objects.
All of you have no object permanence.
Yeah.
Okay, roll
That'll
for
be
it,
one
Jess.
shot.
Okay, that is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Good. I forgot what the DC was for everybody else, so I apologise for that. And that was 2d10, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like the idea of Bane Glorious Babies, like the Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cute. It's only 8 points of damage this time, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, that one is undamaged, so it helps a little.
Mm.
And then for your action.
So I will use the good old standby Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
On the same one, why not? I feel like Simon's given us like a million door puns, so just insert one of them here.
Don't knock it till you try it. And then...
I think Juniper would more likely be along the lines of, "You're not adorable."
Adorable.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But from Juniper, that would be scathing, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
she
it's
thinks a lot of things.
a wisdom save of...
Yes, wisdom save, DC 17.
Oh, 18. I rolled a 17. They have a +1, weirdly.
It's like, I am adorable.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a cantrip, there's no half damage or anything, so it just fails. It just peters out. It goes.
It will not be body shamed by a fake corgi.
Yeah.
Okay, end of Juniper's turn. Elsie, it is your turn again.
So there just seems to be a collection of doors in the corner now.
Yes.
Can I go up to one of them and stabby with advantage or not?
No, unfortunately not, because the other one is in the way. You'd have to aim at it with a ranged attack through the shelves, because this one is blocking the way, sadly.
Oh, it's the one that's in the way, the friendly one?
Yes.
Oh, for frick's sake.
They're quite big.
Okay, I'll just try and throw a firebolt, arc it over.
Okay, roll for an attack then.
Could you not open the friendly one and walk through?
Oh, natural 20.
Okay. Roll for damage then.
So that is 3d10. On a d10, we say that the 0 is a 10, don't we? Wait, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
8. Sorry, because I re-rolled one that was cocked, I thought that was my third roll.
Okay. So
No.
you see this one turn towards you, and you think as its tongue lashes and it seems to smile as the firebolt goes into its mouth, you fear that it's absorbed it.
Mm-hmm.
But then suddenly the fire just poof, and actually does more damage than you thought it would.
Oh.
This one looks still sturdy, but hurt by that. Okay, that is Elsie's turn. It's now Maud's turn. She is going to... Doesn't make sense to do that. Probably would make sense to do that. So let's give it a try. Okay, so she is going to move 15, 20, 25 to there, so she can get in view of the one that is creeping around the corner. And she is going to get out what looks like a long, thin rod of glass. And then she just rubs a little bit of fur on it, and you see a crackle course down the glass rod. And then a of lightning arcs out of the stick. So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw, which have gone so well. Yes, it continues to go so well with a 6, so it fails. Oh, however, oh no. The arc of lightning smashes into it, and as Maud lets out a cry of triumph, all of the lightning bolt damage is absorbed by the door. It rolled a natural 20 on that roll, and she just goes, It's now the Mimic's turn, so that one is going to move down to Maud and try and attack her. That is a 15, which I think will hit, yes. So 6 damage. Okay, that's fine. So she gets hit by the tongue, and purple ichor slathers her clothes, and she lets out a Ugh! And then the other one is going to attack your animated M&M, Jess. And what's the armor class of the animated object?
Well, let me just check, because I think it depends on what size they are. Animate objects, and it's large. Yeah, the AC is only 10.
Okay, so that will hit. So that is 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Still looking cool.
Okay, and that's their turn. Flint, it is now your turn.
Okay, so do I have a clear line of sight on any of the remaining doors
You
that
do,
aren't
you-
being controlled by Juniper?
You would have on this one, yes, because it's so big you could shoot above Maud's head.
I will shoot above Maud's head with 22.
That will hit.
So that will be 9 points of piercing damage and 20 points of thunder damage. And then bonus action.
Okay, so there is another woomph, and you see that one of
I want to be
the
an artificer.
pseudo stones that is part of the top of its head just flies off and turns into mush as it hits the wall and slides down it. That the end of your turn? Are you moving anywhere?
No, I'll stay where I am. I think I've got a fairly good vantage point from where I am.
Brilliant. Okay, that brings us on to Erallur again.
Great. So I'd like to do exactly the same thing as last time, but with a different object. So, I mean, it could be a bigger one because I did do it at 3rd level, so I'll do 3rd level again. So
Okay.
I think it can be 15 pounds.
Okay.
And I will throw it at the door that Flint just attacked again.
Okay, so if you just come round this corner, you can do that.
Oh, the wall fell over. We
It
can
did.
escape.
Okay, so it is a dexterity saving throw. What's the range on catapult?
Still a good question. I feel like it's really long.
I feel like it's
300
really long,
feet or
but
something.
I just want to make sure.
90.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
not
fine.
300 feet.
That's fine. It will still hit it, don't worry.
Yeah.
What's the DC again?
17.
Ah, I rolled a 16.
Ooh.
Best dexterity saving throw of the night for me, and it doesn't even work. Right, so roll your damage.
Okay. I'm glad it didn't work because I got all my dice ready. More ones. Right.
Ah, again?
16.
Okay. So you this time hurl what seems to be a quite large stone tablet, which is round, and as you watch it go, you notice that as it flips end over end, there's a weird face coming out of it. And as it flies off, you hear this "Ah!" as it smacks into this thing.
Good
That
person.
hurt it quite a lot. So it is.
Did the thing that I throw break?
Oh yeah, it shattered into pieces. Yeah.
Oh. I feel
That's
so
the
bad.
end of Erallur's turn. It's now back to the top again, so it's Luke.
Hello. Can I see any of the other doors? Do I have any idea where they are?
You can. You could see this one.
Okie dokie. I swoop over to that one. Can I get behind it again? Or is
You
it
can't
not?
get behind it. You could get at its left-hand side.
Okay, do that. And then I will, because I've got a javelin in my hands, stab it with my javelin.
Go for it.
17.
That will hit.
That one hits for 7 piercing damage. Off the back of that, oh, if necessary. We still going?
Yeah, it's still up.
Cool. I'll do another flurry of blows. Ooh, natural 1 for the first one.
Remember your advantage because it is flanked technically by the animated other door.
Cool. 17 for the first one.
That will hit.
And that one, 9 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
And can it make a dexterity saving throw?
9.
It falls over. What a silly Billy.
It falls over into the shelf and just smacks against it with a doof.
Oh, that's so sad. I kick it while it's down. That's 28
That hits.
and 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. It's still there. It's holding on by a thread.
I then fly up above it and jab downwards with my javelin.
Okay, roll to attack.
It's just, it's cruel at this point, but we're going to keep going. 14,
That'll hit.
9 piercing damage.
Yeah, so you go and almost like a fisherman, just jab the spear down, and there's a ah as it expires. And you are then faced by a slightly grayer mimic that's tongue is just lolling out. That one's the animated one, but you're still fairly disgusted by it.
With a birdly distaste, I use my remaining movement to fly upwards to spot anything else.
Okay, you will fly up to about there, I will say. Mid-shelf, fairly near to the runic anvil that you saw before.
Righto.
Juniper, it is now your turn.
Okay, awesome. So M&M will move towards the remaining mimic. I don't know if it can make the full distance.
It cannot. It can get to about there.
That's fine. It will chill there. And I'll try Vicious Mockery again because the concentration, I can't do a
Okay,
massive
yeah,
amount
that
at
makes
the
sense. I'll
moment.
say you just need to move there to get line of sight, so you're just near Erallur.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wisdom saving throw. 18 again.
Again. Oh,
Why are these doors so wise?
they're such wise doors.
Not very dexterous though.
No,
Yeah.
sadly. Well, they're strictly speaking, they're as wise as they are dexterous, but they're just not rolling terribly well. Okay, so that's the end of your turn, Juniper. Elsie, it is now your turn.
Do I think it's done? Can I see any more doors?
Roll a perception check.
19.
You can't see any more doors from where you are, but you did just see Juniper run back down the corridor and step over a couple of the corpses of the doors. So it's safe to say that there might be another one, but you just can't see it. You also hear in the commotion a brief skittering noise.
Is that skittering noise the noise of a door or a noise of something
No,
else?
they didn't seem to make noises other than their horrible tongue lashing.
Uh-huh.
Seems to be in the shelves fairly nearby, but
Okay, can I try and find the skittering noise?
that would take your action to do as an investigation check.
Yes, sod it. Let's find the skittering.
Okay,
noise.
roll an investigation check.
13.
You clamber up some of the shelves and then run along them. The height is such that you can actually fit between some of them. The skittering stops and you come to a pause. It just looks like there's objects around, just a variety of things, weapons. There's a mace on the ground. There's a broken looking breastplate that had a crystal housing, but the crystal's long gone.
Mhm.
And a spider web now actually sits with a fairly large looking spider, but that didn't look like it was making the skittering noise. And as you look closer, it actually looks hollowed out and dead. But
What,
you
the
don't like.
spider?
Yes,
Oh,
you don't locate the source of the skittering.
that's annoying.
Okay, end of your turn.
Sure.
Okay, so it's Maud's turn then. Having used such a high power spell slot, she is loath to do so again. So she is going to just stab it with her daggers, I think. And she misses, sadly. So she tries, but the tongue is just waving all over the place, and she's just going, just what? Stay still! And it won't, so that is the end of her turn. It is now the Mimic's turn, so it's going to attack Maud, but it misses as they're just in this almost slap fight of trying to hit each other and missing. And then it is Flint's turn.
Okay, I'm going to shoot at that same door.
Okay, go for it.
Natural 20.
Oh dear, okay.
So that will be, I rolled double ones for the first one. 8 points of piercing damage, and then 40 points of thunder damage.
Blimey. So you again track aim as the tongue is flailing about, but instead you see that Maud takes just a step to the left as the tongue tries to smack into the ground. And as you do, you think, oh, that's an idea. And aim just at the point where the cilia are touching the ground. And there's a whoomph as that flagstone cracks and the mimic hurtles into the air before there is a of horrible gelatinous liquid as it explodes like a firework. And Maud turns around and looks at you, purple dripping from her hair. You owe me a drink.
We'll talk about that, and I will reload.
Okay, all of the mimics are now down. You are in this strange chamber, having defeated 6 mimics and resurrected one.
I mean, it lasts for a minute, so it's gonna.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
fade
Yeah.
fairly soon.
Yeah.
That's fine. And on that note, we will end tonight's session. Thank you very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, like, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everybody wants to say bye? Say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.